folks, Mrs. Hines here. So today we're going to be using your EV3 robots to add the ultrasonic sensor. The way that the ultrasonic sensor works is basically it sends out a signal. When that bounces off of something, it returns to the sensor and the robot is able to tell how far away something is. So I set up a couple of different programs for you to try out. If you want to try the Force first, where your robot is going to be using an ultrasonic switch. If it sees something close to it, you want your robot to back up. Otherwise, it's going to go forward forever. Burglar alarm is where your robot is still near a doorway, and when someone enters the doorway and the distance is short, the alarm is tripped. The robot makes a sound and moves to scare away the burglar. If there is no burglar, the robot should just be still and waiting for the burglar to arrive. And the last activity is for your robot to stay on a table. The robot will need to have a sensor that's pointed down towards the tabletop, and if the sensor detects that the floor is there instead of the table, the robot should back up and turn. So now how to program your robot to perform force. You're going to start up under the orange tab and you're going to drag out a loop. You basically want the robot to continuously check the switch. So first when you drag the loop out, the next thing you're going to drag is a switch. When you drag the switch inside of the loop gets bigger. So the switch right now, it's defaulted to be a touch sensor. So what you want to do is you want to change that to be the ultrasonic sensor. So in order to do that, what we're going to do is when I double click on this. So again, what we're going to do is I'm going to get rid of this. I drag this out. I can figure out how to get to these different sensors. So I don't want a touch sensor any longer. I want it to be an ultrasonic sensor. So by clicking here, I have the option of choosing the ultrasonic sensor. So I'm going to have it compare a value in either centimeters, inches, or I can have it listen. So right now I'm going to use the centimeters option. And you can have it set up differently on the tabs. Sometimes you can't see both states, but I like to be able to see what is happening when this is true and what is happening when this statement is false. So what I want to do is I want to see what port it's plugged into. Right now it's plugged into 4. And I want it to compare a value. So by using the view command, I can see how far away something is to my physical robot. So down in the corner when you have your robot set up, you can check that distance. I'm going to change this to 10. So if there's something that is greater than 10, it will do this. If there's something that is less than 10 inches away, it will do this. So if there's nothing close to it, you want the robot to travel forward. So in order to do that, I'm going to go over to my Action tab, and I'm going to have my robot drive forward. I'm going to set these to just be on, so that would in the past be like having it on for an unlimited duration. You can change how fast you want this to go. Do you want your robot to approach things aggressively? You can turn the power up. Or if you want, when your robot sees something, to slowly approach it, that might be a better option. It depends on your use. And then if there is something that is closer than 10 inches, so the greater or the value is less than 10 inches, you should have your robot drive backwards. So you will still have it on, but you'll have the power levels to a negative amount of time. So that's close enough. Let's move this to also negative down here. And there should be the same, but you can fiddle with that. So again, this is the force. So you have a loop, you have an ultrasonic switch. If there is any trouble with it, you probably don't have it plugged into the correct port. So physically check. And then else, you may find that this is not the correct value. You might change that. Always back it up, or always forward. You can change this value here. Kind of a guess and check thing. The other program that I want you to do is Burglar alarm, and that's set up so that if the robot sees a far distance, the robot does nothing. So you have this be off. If sound, that's found right here. You choose the sound that's appropriate for a burglar to try to scare them, and then have your robot travel a distance for a certain amount of duration, whether that be seconds or rotation. The last program that you're going to do is going to be called Stay on the Table. So in order to do that, you would make a new program. Please name your program as such. But again, what you would do is you would delete throughout most of the programs that you're using for tutorial have them in this. You'll again change the sensor, so then it's your ultrasonic sensor. Definitely use your view command to see how far away the table is. Chances are the table's quite close. So maybe your value is even smaller than it was before. So if the value is greater than 4 inches, that is where the table comes into play. If the value is smaller than 10 inches, that's where this is going to come into play. So when you're seeing the floor, you want to back up and turn. So that's this. Motors are correct. That should be fine. The power level should be fine for back. One rotation, you might have to again have to check that. But the important part is when you're actually going forward on the tabletop and you see the table and you don't see the floor, you want to make sure that your value is, you're driving slow. You don't want to race off the table, so please have it around like 30%. So you can change that here, traveling forward, and this one would be traveling backwards, which would be a negative value. So if you see the table, or if you see the floor, rather, versus the surface. So those are the 3 programs that you should do for the ultrasonic sensor. When you complete them, you can screenshot them, put them on your portfolio to receive credit, and show your instructor, and show you the next sensor, which is